Hi guys, happy Wednesday. And it's happy because I'm out of here. You guys, I have a headache. The last 2 days have been emotionally I'm not gonna say draining, but emotionally active. Let me see, what updates do I have for you? Okay. First of all, when I went to my last appointment, which was for what? Oh, the appointment that I went to get the finalized plan in place. Wait a minute, there was one before that. Wasn't there one before that? I'm confused, guys. There are so many friggin' appointments. So many more to come. Gosh, I'm gonna sit here forever. I get out at 5 o'clock now. So the traffic on the main street right outside of the hospital is so bad. Like, it's really, really congested. So when we're trying to merge out onto the main street, you have to hope somebody's going to be nice and let you merge out. And then I have to get out to the furthest lane so that I can turn. And sometimes that's not doable with 3 lanes of traffic. So I end up having to go the long way and make a U-turn. And it's a friggin' nightmare. I didn't have to deal with that getting out at 4:30. I missed all this. And it would have been a little easier if they didn't have the parking lot where the Callaways used to be gated off. Because we used to be able to cut through there and use 2 other driveways, so we're not in a friggin' long line waiting to merge onto this street that goes nowhere anytime soon. So I'm gonna sit here for a while having to tinkle because I forgot to go to the bathroom because I was so ready to be out of there. Today was the first day that the second day that I was actually getting into a workflow. You know, I'm being given more responsibilities, but it's kind of scattered and mishmashed. It's kind of like, well, can you do this and can you do that? And you did this really well the other day, so maybe you can help me with this. But I still don't have a set routine, a set plan. But it felt good to be busy. It felt good to actually feel useful, to actually feel productive, because I need to be that. But I was kind of being pulled in 2 directions. One person is having me do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I'm not really learning how to do anything because there's a lot of interruptions. There's a lot of, things going on. So I have like a million little things going on and I can't get any of it done. So another person that I work with noticed this and mentioned it to the practice manager. And the practice manager decided, well, tell you what, why don't you pull her from all the little boops and get her over here with this big boop. That way we can possibly get her to do something, like learn something for sure, from A to Z, learn something, get a task under her belt, which I thought was a great idea. But that didn't happen until towards the end of the day. And then in between all that, I'm starting to see that these, although they're nice people, are so different than what I'm used to. Like, I know I mentioned how different they are, their personalities are and all this and that, but the way that this clinic or our department is run is nothing at all like I'm used to. There is a level of unprofessionalism that I am not used to. Like, I am not used to people talking back to the lead. Okay, I'm not used to it. Like, yes, offices, have issues and not everybody gets along, and of course some people like some people and other people don't like other people, but I was just used to a more professional setting. A lot of the problems that this clinic has, we had at ours, but the difference is the problems at my old clinic were nipped in the bud by leads and managers who were not going to tolerate it. Where, from what I saw today, is the opposite here. It's a lot. Like, it's messy. The people are messy. And I'm not used to all that chaos. Like, there's a lot of pushback, a lot of talking back. It got really high school, guys. It got really high school. The problem is, nobody is willing to listen to the other person. When someone, whether the argument or complaint is valid or not, it doesn't get heard because everybody involved is so busy thinking about what their comeback is going to be, what their response is going to be, that they're not listening. They're not paying attention at all to what the other one is saying. And I'm just like, wow, if you would be quiet and listen to this one, you would understand where she's coming from. And if you would be quiet and listen to what he's saying, you would understand where he's coming from. If y'all would take turns to speak calmly with one another and get the sass and get the attitude out of it, y'all could nip all this crap in the bud. Not only that, just since I started there, I'm seeing what the problems are. Nothing I'm not familiar with, but the difference is when issues like that came up at my old clinic, they were addressed. They were addressed between management and staff during monthly meetings. They asked us for our input. They asked us what the problems are. I need you to bring the problems to the table. Literally, write down the problems, bring them to the table, and then we're going to dissect it. We're going to break it down. We're going to see what the problems are, how we can fix it, how we can work better together. That's not happening here. I straight up asked. I had to ask because I was so thrown by the ridiculousness that continues to happen but just came to a head today. It started yesterday between two of my coworkers. It started yesterday and then it just came to a full head today, and I'm kind of like clutching my pearls. Like, y'all really acting like this in front of a new employee? Like, it's not a good look, okay? It's really not a good look. But it is what it is. Y'all are who y'all are. Y'all have this type of situation. This is what y'all are used to, but is nothing gonna get done? Or y'all just gonna continue to argue and be petty and be messy? Is this what's gonna keep happening around here? So I was curious and I asked, well, how are these issues addressed? I'm totally hearing both sides. I'm the only one sitting there listening to what this one has to say and what this one has to say, and I can be objective, because I'm like, they have a point, y'all need to come together, this is fixable. But they're not even thinking about it. So I asked, how do y'all resolve this kind of crap? Y'all don't have sit-down meetings between the leads from our department and the leads from the other department who you guys are having problems with? Y'all don't do that? And they're like, no. But I asked that to one of my coworkers. Like, what do y'all do when things get this bad? What do y'all do? Y'all don't have no sit-down? No, since I've been here, we haven't had one. So when our lead walked in, My coworker, I feel, threw me under the bus. He said, well, Melissa made a suggestion. I'm like, the heck? What you talking about? Melissa made a suggestion. What did I suggest? She suggested that maybe we should all sit down together with a da-da-da-da. And I'm thinking to myself, no, you didn't. No, you didn't just throw me under the bus talking about I made a suggestion. I didn't make no suggestion. I just told you how we did it in my other clinic. So I'm like, oh, you're one of them. But I've already picked up on the vibe that this person is a little messy. But I didn't appreciate that. So I'm like, really? I'm not even here 3 weeks and I'm already... have I been here 3 weeks? I think I've been here 3 weeks. And I'm already getting the about one person. I'm not surprised. But I really didn't want the so soon, you know? But I clarified. I'm like, well, it wasn't a suggestion. Yeah, I was just mentioning that when things got like that at my old clinic, this is how we did it. So my lead says, we used to have those meetings, but we haven't had one in many months. Apparently, since that little crew has been in there, they haven't had one. So that's been like 6 months. So there has not been the monthly meeting where issues are hashed out in at least 6 months. And I'm just shocked, guys. I am shocked that they just nitpick at each other and argue with each other. Yesterday, guys, if y'all are familiar with the program Teams, it's basically email, except it's linked to, it's interdepartmental. Instead of an email, you can have very immediate access to people throughout the clinic or your department. And the way I have always used Teams was professionally. You had to be careful what you said. Just like in an email, just like in any communication with anyone that you're working with, you can't be all angry and smart-a and cussy and, you know, just nasty. You can't. This is a job. That's how we've used Teams. That's our understanding. You don't use your emails or your modes of communication with inner office, you know, people like that. It's not text messaging. When I tell y'all, I'm telling you, it started yesterday. These people were going at each other. The front and us scheduling. They were going at each other via Teams. One being messier and pettier than the other. It just went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And nobody in management stepped in that I'm aware of. There was no, you know, message like quit y'all's crap. There was no anybody coming in, management coming in and saying, hey, I need to speak to you and you and you and you. It just went on until it kind of flittered itself out. And see, that's what I've noticed happens. They yell and scream and talk crap and they're petty and they're nasty to each other and then they're over it and they're back to just liking each other. I'm not used to that. I'm not used to that at all. And today was particularly grating because, like I said, I finally got into some actual work. And they blew up at each other. So I'm just like, wow. Then I think that may have played into some of the chaos and some of the back and forth and hippity hopping and in and out of the things that one of my coworkers was trying to teach me, because there was no focus. After that, there was no focus. It got worse. There wasn't really any focus to begin with. I was started off on this, then moved on to this, and then, oh, by the way, this, and then, oh, come here, let me show you this. So there was any real focus on any one particular task, and I had at least 3 or 4 going on until, like I said, they pulled me off late in the day to focus on this. But by then my head was hurting. I was just like, I don't feel like I'm learning enough. What I am learning is mixing in with other things because there's so many interruptions and so many tasks that are started and not finished and not gone all the way into. I'm just like, I'm feeling like I don't have a place. Like, I don't know. And then I can't be all upset at them not being able to train me because I'm out so much. So let's get into that, guys. I'm sorry. I'm out a lot for appointments. So my last appointment, I had my PET scan, I had my bone scan, I got all the results, nothing had spread. I went in to see my oncologist and the radiation guy for them to put the plan in place. So I went to that someday this week. I don't remember. I can't keep track. And I was told I went from a stage 4 to a stage 3. It has not moved. It is in the same areas. It is operable. So I was downgraded to a stage 3, and when I tell you, me and my sister almost friggin' jumped out of our skin. It was amazing. Who would have thought you'd be happy to have stage 3 cancer? Honey, I'll take it over 4, that's for sure. So it's still triple negative stage 3 cancer. But that was amazing. Then they put the plan in place. I'm going to do, it's all written down. I'm going to do, I think, 12 weeks of chemo, then surgery. They don't know if it's going to be a lumpectomy or a mastectomy. Am I saying that right? Mastectomy. They don't know. We won't cross that bridge until after my chemo, and then I'll speak to the surgeon again, and then we'll do that. And then after that, I'll do radiation. So I met with the radiation guy that day. And you guys, he's on the spectrum. He's autistic, or he has Asperger's. And being the mother of an autistic child, I've picked up on some things. And and now I understand why people were preparing me. He's very soft-spoken. He's very soft-spoken, but he's very intelligent. He can come off as shy, but trust me, he is an absolute professional. He is an amazing, whatever he is, the radiation, there's a whole giant name to it. Now it makes sense why from the get-go, it's almost like they were preparing me. He walks in, he is very timid, but when I saw his face, I'm like, not that autistic or people on the spectrum have a look, but some do. Some do. It's a facial feature. It's the eyes. Some do. And he walked in and I'm like, I think he's on the spectrum. And then he started to speak. And then the way he moved, and I'm like, he's on the spectrum. How friggin' amazing is this? He is a whole professional MD. And as the mother of an autistic child, I'm like, yes, right? But he was very, very nice. He explained everything, very, very soft-spoken. He only gave you the information he had and answered your questions. And then he'd sit there. And I understand because of my own child that, okay, I have to initiate questions. He's willing to answer everything he wants, that I want, but I have to bring it out of him. So I knew this, like I said, just from my experience with my own child. So, but the visit was good. I got all the information I was going to need about radiation, as much as they felt they should give me right now, because, that's further on down the line. What's today? Wednesday? So was my doctor appointment. My doctor appointment was Monday. I got my plan in place. They were like, okay, so now what we have to do is we have to order you some more labs, more pokes. We need to get an echocardiogram because we need to make sure that your heart is healthy enough, which everything shows that it is, but they still need an echocardiogram for the insurance to prove that I'm healthy enough to withstand chemo. And then they were going to insert the port. And I was like, I kind of freaked out some in regards to the port, because it's kind of creepy. It was one of the things that I was most afraid of by looking online and stuff. It was one of the things that I was most afraid of. I knew chemo had to go in some kind of way, but I thought that it could go in through your veins. I had known about a port, but I didn't want the port. But they mentioned it. I immediately wanted to cry. Probably did cry a little. I can't remember. Okay. So my blood work is tomorrow. My port is going to be put in September 30th, but my echocardiogram can't be done until October 3rd. So my chemo is not going to start until after October 3rd. Unless I finagle something with the schedule and make something else happen. But as far as right now, as far as I know, my chemo is not going to start until October 3rd. But that's the plan, guys. That's the plan in place. That's the plan. I'm sorry, there's a wreck right here. Right where I have to turn at. I'm trying to figure out how am I going to get around without clipping my little peanut or having to jump the curb. We'll figure it out. But that's the plan. But yesterday, after I made the appointment, I knew I was stressed out about the port. I knew I was. But it wasn't until I made the appointment and it became official. I immediately went into chest pain, can't breathe mode. And it was right around my lunchtime. So I made the appointment and I started feeling really, really anxious. And I said, girl, no, go to lunch. Just go to lunch. Get it out of your head. This is going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. Just go to lunch. But instead, I hit the elevator and I practically ran to my old clinic. I needed them, guys. I needed them so bad. I needed familiarity. I needed normal. I needed safe, because nothing is normal. Everything is too new in my life right now. And I didn't feel safe. I did not feel safe. So I needed my ladies. I needed them so bad. So when I get to the door of my old clinic, I'm about to walk in when I hear the side door open to the hallway. And I turn around and it's my lead. She's like, hey, there's banana pudding in the break room. She makes amazing banana pudding. And I turned and looked at her and she's like, what's the matter? What's wrong? And I'm trying to talk to her. And she's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's going on? What's going on? Is it the job? Is it you? What's going on? I said, it's not the job. I said, and I'm trying to tell her that I just made my appointment for the port. I said, I just made my appointment for that thing for the port. I said, yeah. She sat me down and before I knew it, I just like this. She let me talk a little. And then she just, in her soothing way, just made it better. And that's why I was practically running there. I am so touched. I want to cry. But while I'm walking through the hallway, I texted my old practice manager, are you in the office today? I put my phone in my pocket. And I'm thinking to myself, I hope my lead is there as well. I need these ladies. So I find my lead in the hallway. And she just makes me feel so much better. It's just like melting away. She just has a way. And we sit out there for a little while. Mind you, I only have 30 friggin' minutes for lunch. And the walk usually takes 4 or 5 minutes. But honey, I was huffing and puffing. I needed to get to my ladies. But we're sitting out there, and by the time, she's done talking, I feel better and I'm fluffy. I don't care what I go through, guys. I don't care what I'm experiencing. I always got room for food, okay? I always have room for food. After my doctor's appointment on Monday, I come out of there like port, chemo, I'm hungry. So we went and had a huge, big breakfast. Me and my sister, because my sister went with me. We went and had a big, huge breakfast. She bought me breakfast and then I went to work. But honey, I can always eat, okay? I can always eat and I can always thrift. If there's ever a moment where I'm not wanting to eat or not wanting to thrift, then just know something is very wrong, okay? I've had those moments. Something is very wrong. But I felt better. We walk into the clinic and my practice manager's there and she comes and gives me a hug, but she didn't give me that, oh, honey hug. She didn't give me one of those. She gave me one of those, hi, how are you? And what's going on hugs. Like, really, like, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. How can we make it better? Like that. Like the legitimate hug. And talk to her for a little while. And I don't know if God made time go slower. I don't know. But I swear it felt like I was in there for an hour. And I made it back to my clinic within 30 minutes. So much happened. And it just felt like I had been there for an hour. It was what I needed. It was what I needed. And then I got on the task of trying to figure out who. I need a driver for the 30th. They're gonna sedate you, so you can't drive yourself, and for safety reasons, they don't allow you to come home on an Uber, Lyft, or taxi. So I'm like, well, I didn't want to bother anybody. And my friend's been offering from the get-go, but I'm just like, oh. And guys, I still haven't updated her. Oh my gosh, I need to do that. Y'all know more than she does in regards to the diagnosis and everything. She's the one who I told her I was gonna update, but I was so exhausted that Friday, and then we had such a nice Saturday, and then I haven't talked to her, since, so she doesn't even know all the details. I need to catch her up on it. But anywho, she's offered from the get-go to take me to any appointments, to do whatever, just, let her know so she can put in for her time. And I'm just like, you're taking time off your job. Like, I don't want to do that to anybody. But I'm like, she'll be good. It'll be like, yes, she's who I would be comfortable with. So I didn't want to ask her, but I did. I asked her, and she didn't waste any time in saying yep. So I'm so grateful for that. So she's gonna take me and bring me home. They said his procedure's not very long. I'm supposed to sign in at 7 in the morning. No, 7 in the morning? I'm telling you all my details. 7 or 7:30 in the morning. And the procedure will start at a certain time, and I should be done by noon. It doesn't take long. You should be done by noon. But she's gonna take me and bring me home, and I have to take the whole day off that day. It's on Tuesday. And then I was telling my sister, about everything. She was feeling bad because she doesn't drive. She's like, I feel so useless. She goes, I don't drive. I can go with you, but I can't, she can't drive me. And I'm just like, oh, I hate that she feels that way. I hate that she feels that way because she's my anchor. You know what I mean? And thankfully, I am blessed, and God has blessed me with people who do care and are willing and able to do these things for me. So I'm just like, oh, I don't like her feeling that way. But she up and told my brother that I needed a ride, and he's saying if my friend can't do it, then he'll do it. So I am blessed. I am blessed that I have people who are willing and able to do these things for me. And I'm hoping once chemo starts that I can drive myself home or to work, because I hear people all the time say, I get chemo and go to work, or I go to work and then get chemo and then go home. So I'm like, I won't know how it affects me until I know how it affects me. But I was told that I'm gonna lose my hair, and I think the reality of that is gonna be another very hard thing for me. Like I said, the port, just knowing and accepting that this is real, that messed me up. And I was kind of mad at myself, guys, because I'm like, you have been powering on, you've been powering forward, you've been holding on to faith, you've been fine, girl. You're not going to start cracking now. So I was a little disappointed in myself. But then I gave myself some grace. I'm like, dang, girl, you are going through some things. So come on, it's okay. You're friggin' human. It's okay for you to lose your mind a little bit. It's okay. As long as you don't lose your faith, it's okay to lose your mind a little bit. So I made peace with myself. But I think the next big emotional effect I'm gonna have is when my hair comes out. And they've all but guaranteed me that it is. Stranger things can happen, and it won't, but with the medications they're gonna administer to me, they've said, yeah, pretty much. Oh, and at the clinic, guys, I noticed this little basket, and I've noticed it 2 or 3 times already. They have these pillows, and they have these little knit caps and scarves and stuff. And it wasn't until Monday that I realized somebody is hand making these pillows and scarves and knit caps and stuff for the patients to take. And I'm like, oh, and there was a lavender one. There was a lilac one. It was so cute. But I was like, if I were a younger person, that would be cute. But I'm 52. And I really don't want to look like a little old cancer lady. So I think I'm going to do scarves or wigs, honey. Y'all think I'm playing. Y'all see me show up here with a friggin' platinum blonde pixie? Just roll with it. I'm thinking I'm going to have some fun with wigs. Why not? I'm more concerned with my family, how they're going to feel seeing me, especially Caleb. Caleb, as of right now, has been dealing with everything really, really well. But when the reality hits him, when my hair falls out, when I might get the black circles under my eyes, when I get skinny, I know that's when he's going to be affected. So I really want to be careful about how I look, because I don't want him to be afraid. Not afraid of how I look, but afraid of what is happening to my mom. Like, because the cure is almost worse than the disease, from what I'm understanding, where you find out you have it and you look pretty healthy and you feel pretty healthy, and then the cure just pretty much decimates a lot of people. So I don't want to look sick. I'm afraid of looking sick. I'm afraid, especially for Caleb. I think it'll hurt my big dude. It's going to hurt him. But I think it'll scare Caleb. I think it's going to scare my little guy. So then I'm preparing him for it, and I'm talking to him about it, and I'm telling him what can happen. But I want him to know I'm not going to be, I may look like really, really sick, but it's just a cure, and the medication's just going to make me a little sick for a little while. There's a whole tumbleweed in the ground. I've never seen a tumbleweed, and I've lived my entire life in Texas. I've never seen a friggin' tumbleweed. I'm sorry, got distracted. But I'm gonna just keep reassuring him that he can talk to me about anything. If he's scared, if he's freaked out, if he's whatever, honey, you can talk to me. We're gonna be fine. Because I still believe that, guys. I still believe it. I'm telling you, we almost jumped out of our skin when they said stage 3. Woo, okay, woo. But I think that's everything. Those are all the updates for now. My FMLA is in the works. I actually put in for my first day for the 30th. Since I'm going to be out the whole day, I went ahead and put in that day as FMLA. I'm not going to have enough PTO to cover the 8 hours. I have enough to cover my lab appointment tomorrow, but I'm not going to have enough to cover my 8 hours for that whole day out. But it's okay, because as long as my job is safe and I put in for that intermittent FMLA day, I'm good. I figure out the rest later. But as of right now, I'm good. I've not been left in the weeds in regards to finance. I'm not in need of anything. Everything's paid. I'm not in arrears on anything, guys. Don't worry about that. because I know some of you guys are. Some of you guys have brought up starting a GoFundMe or something like that, and I appreciate y'all so much for that. But right now I am so good. That would be like a desperate situation kind of thing, and I'm good right now, guys. I really am. We're not in need of anything. I haven't become dependent on anyone for everything. There have been some borrowing here. There's been some giving here, but I'm good. And as long as I can keep going to work, we'll figure out the rest. But yeah, don't worry about me, guys. I ain't gonna lose the house. I ain't gonna be in the dark. They ain't gonna shut off the water. We ain't gonna go hungry. We are good. I just want to put that out there for you guys that are bringing it up and are a little concerned about that. I'm good. We are good. But thank y'all, and mwah, for just worrying that much. You know what I mean? But I'm on my way home. It's Wednesday. I told you guys that on Wednesdays, Burger King has their Whopper Wednesdays. So little dude reminds me every Wednesday, Mom, are we still doing Whopper Wednesday? Yes, baby, I will get you Whopper Wednesday. So now he has Whopper Wednesday and Fast Food Friday. But I need to go to Walmart to catch her out of food. He's out of vitamins. He's out of his laxative. I'm out of one of my vitamins. I don't remember which friggin' vitamin. It kind of sucks because I don't want to buy the wrong one. We're out of his curly hair gel. There's a few little things I need to get because I went grocery shopping, but I didn't go household shopping. Like, I didn't make that list. I knew I needed groceries, but I didn't do the extra crap you need when I was out and about last Saturday. So, there's some things that I need, some things I didn't know I needed. So I'm going to go pick him up. Gonna hit the Walmart. Then we're going to hit the Burger King, and then we're going to go home. And tomorrow, I can sleep in a little because I'm not going to the lab until 7:30. So, but that's everything, guys. That is the latest update. I told some of you guys in the comments earlier, because I'm trying to catch up on all those. I told some of you guys that I was going to do an update because some of y'all were worried, and I'm sorry, guys. It took so long. 12 days, wasn't it? Wasn't it 12 days between videos? I felt so bad, but every time I tried to turn around and do an update, I got another doctor's appointment, or I got a new result, or this or that. I'm just like, how can I update when every time I turn around, there's a new update? So, right now, we're at a good stopping point, at a good update point, because I don't have any more appointments that I haven't just told you guys about. So between now and October 3rd, I don't anticipate anything new. But if anything comes up, of course, I'll let you guys know. But that's my update. I will talk to you guys very, very soon. I will try and catch up on the rest of those comments on my videos. And until my next go around, guys. Until my next go around, I love y'all bunches. Bye.